to
Wow.
do.
So my first thought and question really is that you often say that we are all survivors in one way or
Hmm.
another, which is so true. But how can someone really recognize the difference between simply surviving and truly living? Are there different signs that we can look for?
Yes, it has to do with how much pain and suffering you're living with. Right. As survivors, and when I say that, and that we've all survived something, um, I think people tend to go to the big T trauma, what we know as big T traumas, the major adverse events that we may or may not experience in our life. And I think some people might go through their entire life and never have what they might identify as a trauma or an abuse, a major event happening to them. And if that's true, and if I meet that person, I hope I do meet that person because I think they have a blessed life. I would really like to know them someday and just who they are and what they were created to be on this earth to do. Because I think trauma and abuse and then the opportunity to heal is part of the human experience. Right? We just go through it. If you've not survived those big T type events, you most surely have experienced what they call the little T type events. And I think about these in the context of the daily interactions that we have with people who sometimes that person might just be having an off day, woke up on the wrong side of the bed in a bad mood, but the interaction with you is painful and you internalize it and take it on. Or it may be an ongoing relationship with someone who's just a difficult spouse, a controlling parent, a boss that is really hard to work for. And those over time compound what we're carrying inside of us in order to be able to exist in those environments and with those people. And that impacts us as individuals. And if we don't do something about what we're carrying inside of us, particularly if it's causing harm to us personally, or if we're impacting others through our behavior and the way that we interact with them because of what we're carrying, that's not a good place to be. And if you're living in that space, then you're just surviving. And it's logical. Something has happened to you, something painful. You've created a response to that, some sort of a protective mechanism around yourself. And that's okay in the moment. We need that. But carrying it with you throughout the rest of your life and letting it encumber, or as I think about it, really restrain the heart, put binds and chains around the heart that prevent us from being able to engage in truly loving relationships with all kinds of people. And I mean that in our personal life, and I also mean that in our professional life, the ability to show up in love and with love for our fellow human beings, right? And that's
Yeah.
the thriving part. Once we get to that place where we actually can engage in those types of really healthy, wonderful, very self-satisfying relationships, that's when we're thriving. And that's when we're not living in survival mode so much anymore. And we're living on the other side of that where we understand what's happened to us, why, and we've done something about it. That's the healing journey.